Hey guys, how you all doing today? So I hope you all enjoyed that cinematic that I whipped together. But without further ado, let's get straight into the tutorial. So the platform you're going to want to make is 15 blocks wide by 11 blocks long. Now I think this is a pretty reasonable size for a bedroom, if not the perfect size. It's not too huge, but then it's not tiny, and we still managed to fit a reasonable amount of furniture within it. So what I've actually used is I've used the most recent version of my beta unreleased pack. And that may seem a bit unsociable towards you guys. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you guys how to build this in any texture pack. That kind of follows the Minecraft kind of look. I'm not talking about custom texture packs where you have toilets as blocks and microwaves and all that kind of stuff. Like a legitimate realistic Minecraft texture pack. Any one of them should work. For example, we're using sponge for the walls. This is my sponge block, but you could use birch and it would still look great and relatively similar, so don't worry about that, guys. So what I've used for the platform of this build is actually the mushroom block. Now if you have the privilege of World Edit, I would do set 100:15 and that will get you this awesome looking platform block, and you can do that within the 15 by 11 block sort of category. The outer border is just going to support the surrounding walls. So once you've done that, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to hop straight into building the wall itself. Sound like Donald Trump there. But we're going to have 2 blocks of sponge or birch wood right here, and that's going to be 3 blocks away from the corner of our little kind of marked out area. Then what you're going to have is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gap for a window, and you're going to want to continue placing this wooden kind of looking block. This is going to go all the way around the back as well, as you guys can see, just like that. Then what we're going to have after this 2 space here, which is just kind of my marking to myself, because I've messed up this tutorial so many times, to say, guess what, there's a window there. So we're going to have a window there. Now, like I said, have a lot of new textures, but no problem. This is my brand new block for cyan stained glass paints. No one ever used this block on the server, so I thought, why not incorporate it and make it a block that everyone can use? Well, that's what Shiv and me thought, but Shiv kind of came up with this design. So, shout out to you, Shiv, for just doing an awesome job like you always do. Now what we're going to do is get out some glass and we're going to put it here. So we've kind of got our base marked out with all the materials around that we're going to be using, so you guys can kind of get an idea of what's going on. Now I think what we're going to do now is actually stack it up. So what we're going to do is bring this up so it's 6 blocks in height, and this is going to be all the surrounding walls and glass. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to do this by hand because I'm not going to stack every individual wall. Because I can't stack the whole main thing. Otherwise we would have a 6 block tall bed, and that would be bad because it's just made out of wool. So let's just get straight ahead and do that. By the way, guys, underneath here what you're going to want to do is continue that mushroom block, and if you don't have the mushroom block, I would just recommend using grey wool. It will work fine, or grey stained clay if you think that looks better. So we're just going to bring this guy up so he's equal with the other wall. And guys, if you could smack this video a like, it would be massively appreciated. Like, I really want this series to do well on YouTube, but to get it to kind of go up search results and do really well, I need your guys' full support, because my channel is pretty small compared to like some YouTubers out there. So it's really hard for me to try and get noticed when I do these kind of videos, because I'm competing against people that have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of subscribers. So if you guys could smack a like, leave a comment, that would be absolutely dope. You have no idea how much that would help out. So let's just bring this wall up here, and then we can start bringing up the cyan stained glass panes at the front. Like I said, everything's going to be 6 blocks tall in height. Now there's one downside to this design, and that is you're going to have to have a free tall ceiling. Now the reason for that is us actually incorporating a super freaking sick design when it comes to the actual lighting. By the way, you can chop this guy down by 1. We wanted to incorporate like a really sick lighting kind of system in this house. We didn't want to go your everyday kind of redstone block of redstone lamp block, say, or glowstone. We wanted to do something really cool. So what we did was we actually put cakes up there, as you can see, and glowstone behind them, and they just look so fresh. We're now going to put some trapdoors just on the underneath there. It just kind of gives it a bit more detailing. Now I understand you guys have come here for the bedroom tutorial and not like a mini house tutorial, but we kind of wanted to build, like me and Arvid wanted to do a kind of nice little frame around this area, just so it looked nice when we kind of presented it to you guys. So what we're going to do now is start with the roofing. Now what we're going to be using here is acacia, or in other words, snow. You guys can use quartz though if you don't have a white stair block. It's very important that you use quartz if you don't have another white stair block, because otherwise this just will not work. It will look very bad. So we're going to bring the ceiling all the way across, but we're going to leave a gap of 1 before we hit the front wall. And what we're going to do underneath here is we're going to get ourselves out some acacia stairs, as you guys can see. We're now going to bring them all the way across like this. They're all going to need to be upside down as well. It's an important thing to know. Just like so. Now a really cool thing that we also added to this kind of bedroom design, it is a bedroom design, is the actual bed itself, which is made out of actual beds. A lot of people nowadays don't really use beds when it comes to actually designing, you know, a real bed, because beds usually look pretty bad, but we've changed them out in the BCS pack to look really cool. So they've just come out super dope. I think, how did it go? I'm trying to remember. It's one way around or the other. Let me just check the other design a second, guys, because it has to be perfect. So we have the thicker sides on the outside. So what that means is you're gonna have to build the beds like this, guys. Oh, sorry, World Edit is going a bit glitchy on me today. There we go. So as you can see, it should look something like this. Now if you have the BCS pack, which by the way you can download in the description, there's a video all about it telling you guys about the most recent version that I've put publicly. It's a little bit behind this one, but it's still a really cool pack and has a lot of these sick features. Then you can go ahead and download that. So that's the bed design right there. Understand this is only doable through World Edit. If you guys don't have World Edit, what you're gonna have to do is, let's find a design. I guess that kind of works. I mean, it doesn't look too shabby. World Edit is a massive must-have in my opinion when it comes to building nowadays, because without World Edit you're so limited, and now you can get World Edit for single player. So I mean, like, there's nothing really stopping you guys. It's so easy to get it. But what we're going to do now is we're going to get ourselves out some carpet, and if you guys are actually in single player, I'd recommend using the barrier block to actually put underneath it. So what we're going to do is, I think the carpet comes up to here. Then you're going to want to crouch while placing this across the snow. That is essential, otherwise it's going to delete your snow block. And what you're going to want to do now is actually get yourself out some wool, place 2 just like so, right here. Bam. And then we're going to come to the other side and just get wool and place it here. This is another kind of like little side storage unit. Now what me and Arvid did, just to make it look a little bit more interesting, is we got some signs and put them down. Now if you're like a sign wizard, you can come up with a load of cool sign designs for drawers, you know, makeshift handles and all that kind of cool stuff if you really want to. Really other cool little thing that I added was some player heads. Now player heads are accessible in single player as well. Not sure if they're on console or Minecraft's Minecraft Pocket Edition yet, but this is actually a really cool head right here. Now there's tons and tons of great websites on the internet that tell you how to get these, so just have a look around and I'm sure you'll find the one that you're looking for. But this is just like a simple kind of, I think it was either a bucket or a bin, but it's just supposed to be a bin, and it was just like a nice little feature that I just added there over to the side. So as you can see, 2 blocks in now, what we're going to do is we're going to get an end rod out, we're going to get a hopper out, just right here, and then we're going to get an acacia leaf block out. So we're going to put that guy down, which actually creates some lighting, which is a nice feature. Make sure you place it on the top of the end rod there. And then we put this leaf block down. Now, Arvid actually showed me this. I've never seen this design of like a kind of I guess I could call it like a kind of elevated like plant pot. It just looks so sick, and I mean, it just adds a little bit of greenery, adds some color to the build, which just makes it look a little bit less plain, you know, like it has a bit more life within it. And what we're going to do now is actually put the painting in place. Now I'm going to use some bushes just right here to kind of barricade this little area off, so it's easier to put this down, and that is actually the painting we are looking for, just right there. So once again, a new painting that we've added in the pack. I actually spent about 8 hours in total looking for all the paintings in this pack, just trying to get the perfect ones. I mean, I guess it does show you guys how dedicated I am to this texture pack, but then yet again, we got to have the best, which we do, so that's kind of sick. So what we're going to do here is just make a little platform where we can place this guy. Yeah, so we're just going to scroll through the paintings right here till we find this guy just over here. Now, if you don't have World Edit, once again, it's super easy just to sort this out, but you can just do this. For example, you can have one of these guys. You could have it like this. Just have a seat there, maybe put a pressure plate on top, for example, like this one, just to kind of make it look like a little bit more interesting. Kind of looks like a toilet seat, but then yet again, I mean, it's, you know, what you got to work with. Then what we're going to do here, just to show you guys the exact design we did. Once again, not sure if this is 100% doable in single player, but I guess we'll find out. Is you're going to put a rail like this. You're going to put, let's use a different block. That one's super annoying. And then you're going to delete that. It's probably not going to be doable actually. But I'll show you guys how to do it anyway. Yeah, it's not going to be doable, I don't think. Only going to be doable if you have a Minecraft single player World Edit, or of course World Edit on a server. And what you can do is just put the rails like that, and then you can actually get out some black carpet. And this just makes like a nice kind of like little hallway seat. I mean, it's a simple little touch, but then it's quite nice. I mean, if you think about it, if you have a friend over, or, you know, you just want to sit somewhere where you can like do up your shoelaces, etc. Like, I try and think of all these tiny little things, because when you think of all these kind of tiny little things and you put it together in a project, your project is always going to just come out so much better if you really kind of role play the situation, because then you're just going to get the most realistic result. But what we're going to do here is actually something really sick, and I'm sure if you guys haven't seen this, you're going to be amazed by this. But if you actually put down 2 rails like this, you put on some Minecraft furnaces, just like that, then you can have these guys actually coming through like this, and it just makes a super cool modern rug design. I think Shivery was the first person to actually show me that. But now let's get into the desk. So what we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves out some per slabs, just right here. I'm going to place these guys in the middle. Let's just double check. I'm just going to double check this design, guys. Okay, I understand. So what we can do now actually is we can get ourselves out. You can either get rails out, or you can use black carpet. I'm just going to use it simply because it's easier, and it pretty much looks the same for the video. And what we're going to need is we're going to need some rails. We need the detector rail in the BCS pack. Gonna put that guy up there. Gonna put this guy up here. We're then gonna get ourselves out some black carpet, run all the way across, just like so. And you have this super sick looking modern desk. Like, how cool is that thing? Now, we didn't put like a chair for it, but then we just thought, you know, like, I guess you could have like a slide out chair, or maybe one that you bring in from another room. You know, you kind of role play to an extent. I'm just going to fix the few little things that we have left, and then all we have to do is include the light. So we're just going to stack this guy out, just to kind of fix that problem. Fixed. I'm going to stack this guy out, stack him. And what you can do, by the way, guys, is put some glowstone behind both paintings and it will give you some more lighting. Of course, we did try and incorporate some windows to allow for natural lighting, but that's just another way, once again, to include some more lighting. You can even put lighting above the actual acacia stairs right there, and it will give off, of course, some light through them. Yeah, this is actually the design that we came up with. So if you actually delete that block there, you delete that block there, just right here. I'm going to show you guys how to make the dopest little light design. So what you're going to want to do is get yourself out some cakes. It's kind of crazy that I say this, but even if you have the normal flows cakes, this design will actually still look really cool. Now you're going to want to get yourself out some glowstone, just like this. Crouch while you do this. Then you can come underneath, just like so, remove this, and you actually have a super sick, legitimate way of lighting your bedroom, and it looks just so cool. Now maybe you need to put barrier blocks underneath these to make sure their cakes stay up and they don't like get destroyed. I'm not sure, but that is it, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, you found this helpful, and maybe you just got some inspiration, a like would be hugely appreciated. If you're new here, please do subscribe and make sure you click that little bell next to the subscribe button. It's essential that all of you guys do this so you can be notified for my new videos. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. There will be a new video on Sunday. You guys are amazing, and I'll catch you in the next video.